Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Renew, Reuse, Restore. I've had this video that I'm going to show you for a while done, but I was having some computer problems. So I'm going to show you 4 different thrift flips that I've done. I hope you enjoy the video. I found this wrought iron votive candle holder at the thrift store, and what I'm going to do is use the Birdhouse that I already had and glue it on top of the candle holder, and then I'm going to decorate it for spring with a nest and some eggs. I'm going to lightly brush on some paint that's in the color of sage green over this wrought iron part. I'm going to paint the Birdhouse with a brown wash on the inside to give it a stained look. I wanted just a little bit of a darker patina on the Birdhouse, so I watered down some black paint and I'm just going over the entire area. I wanted the roof to look more weathered, so I'm just adding in some brown here and blending it. And then out of clay that I have, I'm just rolling little eggs, and I'll let that dry and then I'll paint them once they're dry. So just take a little bit, roll it into an egg shape. And here I'm just lightly brushing on some sage green to add some dimension to the iron color. Now I'm just taking that same sage green that I used on the twigs, and I'm just lightly brushing over the rooftop. This is just to bring in some brighter green so it's not so dark. Now I'm gonna go even lighter and add some white. Now I'm going to get ready to glue the nest and the Birdhouse on the top. So now it's time to just put some glue around the top and adhere the Birdhouse. And you can see I just added some extra florals for some texture. And typically I'd use a hot glue gun, but I don't have it right now. And I'm just gluing in some twigs onto the nest. And here's the Birdhouse when I was all finished with it. I found this shelf at the thrift store. I don't particularly like the pineapple hole punch, but I do like copper, so I'm gonna keep that, and what I'm gonna use is this ebony wood stain, and change the color of the wood. And here's after it's all dried, finished, and I hung it up and decorated with some antique kitchen utensils. I found this little caddy that I'm going to use for a key holder, but because the things will fall through these, I'm going to make a canvas or duck cloth liner for it. So what you want to do is just measure your sides. Anywhere you're going to put a seam, if you're sewing, you want to add 1/4 of an inch, and if you're finishing off the edges, you want to add 1/2 inch. You can also use hot glue if you want to. So I have this, the inside part cut. I'm going to fold this down and put the seam on the inside. So I fold it twice to have that seam on the inside there. And I'm going to do the same to this side. Then I have to cut the little pieces that go down along here. So you just measure and add 1/4 of an inch. So this right here is 2 inches wide. So I'm going to add 1/4 of an inch to each side. So when I cut and measure, it's actually be 2.5 inches wide, because we're going to have a seam down this corner and this corner. And then the length or the height here is 3 inches. And I'm going to have a seam at the bottom of 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to have a roll down seam of 1/2 of an inch. So I need to do 3 3/4 for this part when I measure that. So I've pinned down where all the hems are going to meet. So we're gonna have a piece looking like this. Something like this. I've pinned down all the hems. So now I'm gonna do the hems and then I'll assemble the other pieces together. And we're going to sew the other side. Now I'm just going to dry fit what I have done in here to make sure it's going to work. So what I've done here is I've taken those little flaps, and with the right sides out, because I want the seam to be on the outside, the part that you're going to see, and the folded part on the inside of where the keys and the knickknacks are going to go. And I just measured from each side here to make sure I'm directly in the center, and I'm going to put a stitch down through this side and this side, and then we will do the other sides after that. And now I'm just taking the corners and lining those up with the top hems and sewing a straight stitch. And here's what the lining looks like for the key ring basket. I have this little lamp that I got at our fixer-upper house that was actually my aunt's. So I don't like the shade. It's kind of 90s and blue. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to show you how to recover a lampshade with material. So I want to keep the liner, but I don't want this outside blue pleated 90s shade. So just getting rid of that. So I just used the existing material and I'm going to trace out. I'm going to leave a little bit of extra room on here just in case I make a mistake or anything like that. Now, if you don't have the material, you already threw it away, another way you can do is start by tracing along here as you roll this along your material. That's another way that you can recover a lampshade. Today's Bible reading comes from Psalm 119:105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. Have you ever been in a really dark place and you couldn't see what's going on around you? Just one small light or candle is all you need to show you the way. The Bible is exactly what you need to point you in the right direction. Follow what the instruction book says and you will not be led down the wrong path. So I made sure that I've ironed all the wrinkles out. Now I'm just going to use my hot glue gun and glue around, starting at the bottom first. And what I'm doing here, I know it's hard to see, but I took jute rope and on the end where they're frayed, I just took some wood glue too and just kind of smeared it around the end and twisted it back together to make it stiff. I'm just going to go around the top one more time just so I can cover this white area. Here's a reminder of what it looked like before and what it looks like now. If you've enjoyed watching the video, please subscribe or like. Thanks for watching.